a lovely time, everybody. So, my method in my madness was to start to have you think about people that are not necessarily very comfortable sitting on the chair, which during the day in my studio teaching, I meet a lot of people with tight hamstrings who actually find sitting on the floor doing floor work for Pilates classes really tricky. So, starting to think outside the box, older athletes, older humans, how do we help the aging community still continue to exercise? So that's my method in my madness. Enjoy. So I'm sitting towards the front of my chair and my hands are just resting on my legs. I'm already starting to play piano with my feet. So I'm picking up all 10 toes. And now I'm placing down the pinky, hold it, and only the big toe. Hold it. And then I'm doing a really quick check. I've had to open up my eyes. I'm getting my eyes on my feet and ankles, and I'm double checking that my feet are not rolling. So I'm double checking that I'm centrally placed. So what does that mean? I need all 10 knuckleheads on the floor. I need my arches lifted. So there should be a little space underneath the middle section of your foot. And you should be able to draw an imaginary line from the center of your ankle all the way down like a little highway to meet your second toe. What are we talking about? Alignment of the foot, but we're also talking about base stance pressure. How should we stand when we stand up? Where should our weight be placed? Good, if you feel like you've got it, arrive back up into your upright position and close your eyes. I've still got my pinky only and my big toe on the floor. So right now, my intrinsics, those shock absorbers, all the muscles that live between my little bones in my feet are having to work right now to keep my foot aligned, but also to only have 2 toes on the floor. Now, can you bring the rest of the toes to join us? Can you feel the tips of all the toes? Tricky. Can you keep all the toes long? So look down at your feet again. Fix the toes that are scrunching. It should look like you've just had a pedicure. You should have skin space between each and every toe. Tricky. Your big toe should be in line with the big toe knuckle. And then it's like the rays of a sun. You'll notice all the other toes have their own trajectory. All right, if you can do that without looking, well done. That's your first challenge for the morning. You need to keep your foot like that, engaged, all 10 toes connected as we start our roll down. From the tip of your spine, go slow. As soon as your head moves, your spine flexes. So you'll feel an inward pull on your chest and sternum, only going halfway. Roll back up. So I think that first part is the hardest. So how many of us are moving through our sternum and chest as soon as we move our head? Can you feel the spine changing shape as soon as you move your head? Only halfway. My head gets to about level with my sternum, but I've already shifted forward and I'm in a complete spine flexed position. Roll back up the imaginary wall. Arrive up. Check your weight placement. You should be sitting perched on top of the sit bones, not forward, not back. And check out, are you a little heavier, right sit bone versus left, left sit bone versus right? Can you center up? One more time halfway. Close your eyes. As soon as you move your head, do you feel an inward pull through your sternum and chest? In your halfway position, do you feel the whole spine in flexion? Now you're going to continue to roll down. Check your pelvis is imprinting. You have to keep the imprint of the pelvis as you send the head towards the knees. So I can't get there, and I'm pretty flexy. because the opposition, that work I'm doing back in my pelvis, having to use my core, having to open up my back, restricts my range. Roll back up sequentially, stacking back up, moving through the spine from the bottom, arriving at the top. This time, send both arms back to the back of the chair and lift your heart and chest. Just stay. Can you reach the back of your chair? Now check what's happening down low. Have you still got 10 toes? Are you still sitting up on top of the sit bones rather than to the front edge? I know, tricky. Good. Release the hands. Send them out wide. Send them above your head. Now turn back to the back of the chair, opening up your right side, and you're welcome to use the chair. Find somewhere to grab onto. Try and look right over the top of your right shoulder. Check you've still got 10 toes. I'm using my left hand to increase the twist. I'm checking my weight placement, so I should still be even. Left sit bone right, right sit bone left. I should be able to feel my lower core. Release the right arm, follow it, look all the way up, listen carefully, rotate, and face your left corner. Now flex over the top of your left thigh. Remember what we've learnt. Inward pull of sternum, whole spine flexing, imprinting through the pelvis. Take your time. Careful you didn't fall. If you can get the right hand to touch the outside of your left knee, and then a heavy head, you should feel a really nice stretch. Roll back up, arrive in the vertical, look up at your right hand, and rotate all the way to where we began that movement, which was in the twist. This time you don't grab hold with the right hand, but you do with the left. Good. Clarify. You shouldn't have twisted through your pelvis. So 2 headlights for pelvises facing your front. You should still have 10 toes. Reach back up. Follow it with your head and eyes. So there's movement for the neck here. Check you're doing that. And now, flex. Check out. Did you flex through your sternum? Did you get that inward pull through your sternum, that downward rotation of your rib cage? Your whole spine is flexed. Your pelvis is in the imprinted position. So careful you haven't tipped through the pelvis line. The spine is stretching forward like you saw. Roll back up. Open just to center this time. Switch sides. So I'm twisting, turning to my left, and I'm finding something to hold on to. Whilst I'm there with the support of my hands and arms, I'm double checking I haven't spun the pelvis to the left. So counter rotate, pull back, obviously pull back on your right pelvis and ground through your right foot. Release your left hand, look up. Use your basic back extension muscles. Check your lower core. Continue to turn, twist, fold, roll. Check out what the sternum and chest are doing. Check out what your feet are doing. Enjoy the stretch. Roll back up. Follow the hand. Rotate. This time you don't grab on. You just lower the left arm and look right over your left shoulder. Counter rotate back with your right pelvis. Ground both feet. Look up. Twist, turn, rotate. Use your waist. Use those fabulous muscles we've been given, granted. Your obliques. Encouraging the space between your rib cage and pelvis. Last time, lifting up. Rotate. Sit as tall as you can as you lower the arm down. Ground it through your feet. Push off the feet. Lift the hand and arm, come back just to center this time and open the arms down. Good. Take two hands behind your head, and I'm just going to face you now to have a bit more of an understanding and can follow. So I've still got my 10 toes. I'm still actively pushing down into the ground. I'm going to practice lateral flexion now. So I'm tilting first. Two sides the same length and coming back to center. I'm tilting. Two sides the same length. All I'm doing is shifting my weight across to one side, thinking long. Try and feel both feet. The grounding of both feet. Really use your foot. Tipping. This time I'm going to stay. I'm going to add the side bend in. I keep thinking about going to that side, and then I've got to counteract through my pelvis line. Pelvis comes back first, waist, rib cage, shoulders, head. Tilt first. Can't go any further. I have to keep going to that side, and I gently add the side bend. So you can feel the work to keep the sit bones on the chair. It's a little more obvious than what it feels like on the floor. Great for the waist, great for the posture, great for the upright posture. Encouraging those side bodies to be strong enough, again, to support us when we stand, so the rib cage doesn't collapse on the pelvis. Last time, remember you're pitching first. Tilt, two sides the same length. Now, from the crown of your head, tip like a teapot. Elbow tipping down to the floor, top elbow raising up to the ceiling. You should feel a beautiful rib opener. And lift back up. Good. Reach both arms back to the back of your chair again. From there, turn your hands up. So rotating your arms in your shoulder sockets. Reach them right back behind you, up over the top, and just let your upper torso flex fold. So what are we working on right now? Your shoulder range. Reach to the back of your chair. Listen carefully. You have to fully turn your hand and arm. So now my palms are facing the ceiling. I've raised my chest up. I'm supporting that position of head and neck with my upper back. Reach your hands as far back behind you as you can. Stay very strong in your core and return to the vertical. Arms come forward and down and really gently nod over the top. Flex over the top. That's our upper torso flex. That's like doing chest lift on the floor. Stack back up through the vertical and reach your arms back behind you. Full spiral rotation in your arms. Get those hands facing the ceiling. Keep reaching them back. Work hard in your core. Up over the top and rest. Good. You're now going to pitch. So keeping the spine stable in the neutral position, come forward to a 45-degree position with me. Slowly arrive back upright. Tricky. Close your eyes. One hand on the small of your lower back and one hand on your belly. As you pitch forward, be careful. You need to keep your abdominals supporting and working. So you shouldn't feel your tummy fall into your hands. Think long. Where is the movement occurring? In the hip. You are pivoting around the hip, stable pelvis, stable spine. Stay. Both hands on your tummy. You are going to shift your weight onto your feet. Did you make it? Lift back. Sit upright. Tricky, right? Careful. Belly can't fall into your hands. Lift weight. There's the 45-degree pitch. Listen carefully. You're not allowed timber top any further forward. Check your feet, check your toes. Shift. Careful. Make sure you didn't lean any further forward, and check your abs and your feet. Slowly sit. Last one. Pitch hinge to 45. Hold it. Secure your feet and your core. Shift. Stand back up. Check your posture at the top. Did you bring the pelvis in line? Are you fully standing, energetically pushing the floor away with those strong feet? Reverse it. Pitch hinge 45 degrees forward. Hold it. Check your core. Check your alignment in your feet and ankles. Shift back without letting your torso lower any further. Arrive. Shift. Take the load. Stand up tall and strong and straight. Feet, hips, knees, legs, core, spine. Shift. Stand upright. Shift. Sit. Listen carefully. Pick your left foot up. Repeat. Shift and arrive. Pitch. Check your core. Sit. 2 more. Pitch. Stand. Pitch. Sit. Last one. Pitch. Stand. Pitch. Sit. Shift legs. Foot, knee, hip. Spine. Strong abs. Pitch, check core, check foot, and gently sit. Pitch. Stand. Pitch. Sit. Well done, everybody. Chair out of your working space. Okay, you're coming to your rainbow. So set up on purpose in a little arc. It goes like this. And I know you're going to be a little fatigued in that leg. We've done it on purpose. So now you've got to sit like a crouching tiger. You've got to get me as low as you can. You've got to pick up the first thing you want in your right hand. You can pick up anything. When you arrive at the top, you've got to switch it into your left hand. Then you take it above your head. I know you can't see me, but just take it above your head. Now bring it down, and on your chest line, switch it back into your right hand. Now crouch. You got to really flex. Ankle and knee. Second item, anything. Keep your eye on it. Slowly stand up. Remember, you've got a left foot you can use to correct your balance. Switch it into your left hand. Keep following it. So you've got to look, moving through your eyes, head, and neck. Bring it back down. Woo. Switch it into your right hand and crouch. Okay, I think I've only got one left. Pick. Switch it into left. Raise it up. Remember, you've got to keep watching, got to keep following. Bring it back down. Switch it into the other hand and sit with me. Oh, okay, hopefully you're screaming like me. Good, right? So such important load. That was all about loading your lower leg, the knee joint, and great mobility for your hip so that we can get down and up off the floor without using our hands for as long as possible. Left leg, here we go, fresh leg. This should feel pretty good. Okay, clock what you want to pick up. So I've already decided what I'm going to collect with my left hand. bringing it back up, switching it into my right, eye on the prize. You got to follow it all the way up, moving target. Bring it back nice and steady and slow. It's an endurance exercise. Switch hands. Take your time. Ankle, knee, and hip. Really move through ankle, knee, and hip. Second item. Switch hands. Moving target. Bringing it back. Switching hands. Going low. Last one. Picking up. Switching hands. Going high. Bringing it down. Switching hands. Going low. Perfect. So that was a little balance challenge. Get them out of your working space. Alrighty. Grab your regular Pilates ball. And we're heading down for a pelvic curl. Check us out. This should be steady smooth. You should feel pretty good and very warm. Legs appropriately stimulated. Feet appropriately stimulated. I have the space in my torso. So hopefully, like me, I feel really good. Here we go. Imprint first. With finesse. So gently move into that imprint without gripping. That's a challenge, right? Because we've come from very big exercises. So can you tone down your energy now? Energy right now is about 1 out of 10. Focus and concentration, about 10. So you got to get the level right. Very gently rock your pelvis back. And are you articulating? Can you feel that you're working through that lumbar spine, starting at that very first joint, L5, working your way up, and you'll probably hit the base top of the lumbar before the thoracic. So are you there? Is that what you're thinking about as you practice the imprint? It's an articulation exercise. And if you get yourself involved in that, the core already is stimulated and doing its job. Be in the back. You're in the sacrum first. Then you've got to drop that very first lumbar joint onto the floor, L5. Now can you feel the next one? So you've got those segments in that lower back to really understand it's your lower back. So look deeply and find that control and support in your own lumbar back. I think that's one of the beautiful things about this class is the onus is on you. You're self-directing your own practice. And yes, you're supported by my cueing, but it's really up to you. Last one. Good. Now from here, I just continue the journey. I continue to work through my spine. So I take my time. Even though the pelvis is up, there's more serious work to be done now through my thoracic as the pelvis keeps raising, and get to the ultimate work, which is in my bridge position now. So looking along the line of the spine, can I get any more space? Can I send my pelvis further forward, away from my rib cage? Can I direct my knees forward and over the feet? Can I press the 10 knuckles and now particularly take the floor with your heel? Keep pressing the heel down. Keep sucking the heel in and then move your pelvis to meet your feet. Lay the middle back as you move your pelvis to meet your feet. Lay your lower back as you move your pelvis to meet your feet. Now go very slowly. This is the tricky bit. How do you not overshoot the return to home base? How do you not let go and release your abs? So if you popped your fingertips on your belly right now, double check your own recruitment. Your stomach shouldn't be pushing up. Keep your fingertips there. You should feel the tummy drop, not grip or tighten, as you move into your imprint. So check it out. What's happening for you physically? Keep rolling through the spine. Keep checking out what's going on through your abdominal wall. You shouldn't feel any pushing up. Arriving at the top, keep checking yourself out. So what's happening for you in the core? Do you feel like your core is deepening? Almost like it's looking for your spine. Keep gently checking as we're rolling down. Make sure there's no pushing up through your abdominal wall. Laying through the back. Arriving home. Check out, make sure when you arrived home, you didn't go too far with the pelvis and you maintained control through the abdominal wall. There's no pushing up. Drop your tool out between your legs. Keep your hands on the core. Feel your right foot. Gently float your left leg up for a single leg lift. How did you feel through the abdominal wall, through the center? Just stay. 2 deep breaths. You don't need very much energy in the breath. The key word there is deep. So that's an action word, a doing word. Can you get deeper through the core without gripping? Slowly send your left leg back to the floor. Keep feeling what's happening in your abdominal wall. Anchor the left foot, suck and draw the left leg into the hip. Center the pelvis, deepen the core, float right leg. Deep breaths, careful not too much energy in the breath. Do you feel yourself getting deeper? Good. Now take your hands behind your head. I'm going to put my trusty tool back in between my knees because I know I'm a bit lazy when it comes to the chest lift and hula practice. So I like that tool there to remind me to keep my feet and legs, and particularly right now, use my inner thighs. Prepare, think long. Energy out through the crown of the head. We know what to do. Sternum slides. Rib cage downwardly rotate. Whole spine flexing. Eyes on the prize. It's an abdominal exercise. So check out what's happening for you. 3 deep breaths. Keyword deep. Careful there's not too much energy in your breathing. You want to feel the abdominal wall deepening. Check out how the spine feels. Can you feel the middle back and lower back dropping into your mat? Articulate back through the spine. So work your way through the joints in the middle upper back to arrive with your head. One more. Roll through the spine. The spine is in flexion. Check out your feet and legs. 2 more breaths. Try to let all the air out. and articulate and lay back. Good. Arrive with your hands and arms. Listen carefully. We are going to do a double leg lift. So before we go, we're going to bring our feet together. We're already going to suck and draw our legs into our hips, and that should already pick me up onto my tippy toes. Try that again. Drop your feet. Listen. Suck and draw the legs actively into the hip joint. You should feel your hip flexors. Stabilize your pelvis. Stabilize your lower back. Just that effort should pick your feet up off the floor. From here, squeeze the ball and float your legs. Tabletop. When you arrive, think about the leg, the energy of the leg, reaching up towards the ceiling. So you've got a suck and draw, but now you've also in the tabletop got a lift. Squeeze your feet together. We're going to do 3 more toe taps. Knees move away, feet lightly touch down. Go slow. Float them back up. Training those core muscles, training your deep back stabilizers. Careful your back doesn't arch. So I think the secret is getting that middle back to stabilize. Okay, we stay. Spine twist. Legs go right. Taking the pelvis. Securing the upper torso. Return it back. Strong through your upper torso as your legs go left. Back to center. Careful the legs don't get lazy. Keep squeezing the feet together. Legs are energetic. Think about what it felt like when you had your fingertips on your belly wall. Are you continuing to try to get deeper? Good. Hold it here. Hands behind your head. Let's do our hula here today. Exhale. Inward flex. Downward rotation of rib cage. You've arrived up. The spine is in flexion. Squeeze the tool between your legs and spend 2 deep breaths trying to get a little lower and a little deeper. That section right below your belly button. Good, keep working on that. Rotate to your left and try to flex on that diagonal. Come back to center, but you're still up. Rotate to the right and flex a little further. Back to center. So shoulder blades are just off the floor in your chest lift position. Rotate. Careful. Lower core can't fly up. Can you feel the small of your lower back? It should be on the mat. Last one. Good. Lay the spine back. Release your hands. Double leg lower. Control it. Control it. Control it. Well done. Whew. That was good, huh? Okay. Grab my hands. Laying down on my belly. Now again, because I'm a bit lazy in my inner thighs, I'm going to pop that between my feet to keep me honest, because I'd like my legs not to rest. I'm going to start with a diamond press. So I'm going to bring my hands, my flat palm and hands onto the floor, which means my middle fingers are kissing. Elbows are wide, head starts on the hands. Secure the position with your pelvis. So feel the centeredness of the pelvis. Kneecaps are lifted off the ground. Legs are active. I'm squeezing that tool between my legs. Pushing off the tops of my feet. Send the crown of the head forward. Articulating up through extension. I'm using my hands and arms to try to spread my shoulders apart. I'm wrapping my scapulars around the edge of my trunk. I'm keeping my bottom front ribs on the floor. I'm staying here. I'm double checking I haven't dropped my core on the mat. I'm feeling my tapered waist. I'm trying to get as long as I can. Try to get a little longer. Think forward as you lay your spine. Tops of feet push. Strong, active legs. Feel the centeredness of the pelvis and the weight of the pelvis. Strong waist, strong core. Think about pulling the floor sideways. So the hands acting, we're using the hands, arms, and shoulders to get the breadth across the upper back. Stay. Grab the cans or hand weights. Take your arms back beside your trunk. Good, double check your position. Remember, the bottom front ribs are on the ground. Raise the arms up, 1. Touch the floor. Raise the arms up, 2. Touch the floor. Now remember, you have to get the position of the shoulder correct. So what is that position we're looking for? You have to pick up the front of the shoulder, spread and open through your collarbones, and send your shoulder blades to the sides. The message to them is to wrap around the edges of your trunk, connecting into your tapered waist, to your strong core. One more, stay. Float both legs without arching your lower back. Stay. Breathe in, count to 5. Long arms, long legs. Breathe out, count to 5. How much longer can you get? Iron out the creases in your lower back. Check the shoulder position. How do you not grip? Check out your legs. Stretch around those knees. Think tone. Breaths are steady. Breaths are long. Training your core. Supporting your deep back. One more set. Well done, everybody. Whew, that was good. All right, drop those cans. Bring your hands around in front. Hands and arms are shoulder width apart. You've still got your trusty tool between your legs. Bring the head, face, and chest back up into your basic back extension and actively press your open, flat palms into the floor now. Elbows are fully stretched. Can you raise your right leg off the floor? Can you raise your left arm off the floor? Just stay. Left foot actively pushing down into the floor. Make sure your left knee is off the ground. So that's a fully extended left leg. Now check out your pelvis. Is it still centered? So carefully you haven't picked up the right half of your pelvis. Fully stretch your right leg even though it's off the ground. The right palm and arm, actively take the floor with that hand and fully outstretch that right arm. Double check, it's in the socket. Switch sides. 2 are pushing, 2 are raising up. Careful lower back, iron out those creases. Switch. Stay centered through the pelvis, stay strong through the core. Switch. How do you do this exercise without gripping? Find a space. Find which parts need to be soft and which parts need to be hard. I would harden my side bodies. I would soften the raising hip and the raising shoulder. One more. I need to even up. Rest, everybody. Whew. Sitting back into child pose. Have a little moment with me. Okay. Finishing up with a little quadruped work. Setting up the hands underneath the armpits. You should feel very confident in your spine. You should feel very aware of the spine. So just take a moment. Can you get all those joints in line? Careful you haven't dropped through your rib cage line. So pick your rib cage up. Feels like the sternum is drawn in and up. The spine is in neutral, and so is the pelvis. I'm aware of my feet, the tops of my feet. I'm aware of where my knees are in relation to my hips. Now you're going to gently press your left hand a little more actively into the floor, and the same with your right knee. Check. Shouldn't have shifted your pelvis or your spine. Come back, two hands, same pressure. So both hands are actively pressing. You're just going to lean and press a little more through your right side, sending a pretty strong message up through your right arm and shoulder. Return it. It's called torque, T-O-R-Q-U-E. Left hand, right knee. Hold it. Could you take the right arm off without sinking into your left wrist? Bring it back. Set up. Actively press. Right hand, left knee. Secure your pelvis and spine without sinking into the right wrist. Raise your left arm up as high as you can, high as you can, high as you can, and bring it slowly back down. Set up. Actively press the left hand, right knee. Think long, so check your head neck alignment. Commonly your head will be too low. So try and strap it up, think double chin. Left hand release, listen carefully. Rotate your left hand, so now your thumb is pointing the ceiling. Rotate through your right shoulder, turn and look up at your ceiling, reach your left hand to the sky and reach it all the way back to find your pelvis. Are you still centered with your pelvis? Follow your left hand, can you see it? Reach above you, all the way forward towards the wall in front, square up, bring it back to center. Set up, left hand, right knee, without sinking into your wrist, thumb side up, right hand. Reach it up to the ceiling as far as you can. Turn through your chest, through your upper back, and bring it up, over the top, and lower it down. Good job. Sit back. Good strong work for the wrist. You need to take that gently if you don't do a lot of that work, because it's tricky not to sink into the wrist. So it takes time to get strong enough there. Okay, we're going to finish off with our arm presses. Last activity, back into the quadruped position. Fingertips along, the knuckles of the hand actively pressing. You're going to wrap the elbows in line with the heel of your hand, hip forward like we did in our warm-up, hinging at the hip. Lay the elbows, stand back up. Now it gets a bit more fun. I need you to count to 5 with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Touch without falling. Push back up through your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you push through the hand more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did your elbows land in line with the heel of your hand? Push back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can you bring our torso a little further forward this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, push back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, dig deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, push back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Tuck your toes. Drop your weight. Let the head go. Check out your feet. Can you spread the toes? Can you get all 10 toes long? Check your alignment. Drop the weight of your head. Send your weight back onto your feet. Find your legs. Knees are going to be bent. Now locate your tailbone and start to roll through the spine from the bottom, arriving back up in the upright position. And as soon as you can and feel comfortable, just close your eyes. Just have a little minute with me here. And you do this just to sense yourself. So where is the center? How do I find the center of the foot? How do I encourage the legs to bear the stress? And my legs should feel really active now. I'm pushing the floor away with my feet. And then I'm going to bring my pelvis into the center. So my pelvis is balanced over my feet, on top of the heads of my hips. Centering my weight through the long femur bone, over the long spread foot. Then I arrive, I sense where my coccyx and my sacrum is, so I bring my awareness into that part of my body. Coccyx and sacrum should feel like they're heading south. And then I look along the spinal column up to find my head, and I try to balance my head so that the center crown of my head is balanced over the top of my rib cage, so through the center of my rib cage, looking through into the center of my pelvis, down to the middle of my feet, right between my heels. So that's your vertical axis. Gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Thursday.